Hey everybody, good afternoon. It's Jason with SONAX again. Flat Jason made an appearance last week. This week you get Fat Jason back for the Friday afternoon SONAX talk. This week, first, thanks for joining us again. It's a nice day out. It's a little warm, but it's really nice out. So we're going to do an exterior treatment and kind of a walkthrough. And this week we are going to do SONAX Fallout Cleaner. What is fallout cleaner? Well, fallout is industrial fallout, or what they call rail dust or brake dust, things that contaminate the car when you're either driving or the car's sitting in a rail yard or something like that. A lot of people don't know this, but cars are transported by rail in between cities. Because of that, rail dust from the railroad wheels and braking and things like that gets kicked up on the car. That dust, once it gets into the paint and sits there, that dust is a ferrous metal. It will rust. What happens is in the paint you'll see little black spots. When they sit there too long, they'll look like little orange spots, especially on light cars. This happens on every car, but on light cars you really see it. So what fallout cleaner does is it removes that very easily. Other techniques are to heavy polish. You don't want to do that. You only have so much clear coat on your car. Or to use an acid-based cleaner. Acid-based cleaners are fine, however, they can cause etching. They might not get all of the dust out, and it also softens the clear coat, so you want to stay away from acids if you can. What the fallout does is it makes a chemical reaction and bonds to the ferrous metals, the metals that are embedded into the paint, chemically bonds with that. It turns red, the surfactants in the product pull it out of the paint, and then you easily wash the vehicle off and it decontaminates the products. Now, why is that important? Why is it important to get that rust and things off your paint? The reason you want to do that, especially before you do any polishing or you put any protectants on it, is so that you're not sealing in and embedding that ferrous metal into the paint more. Now, how do we do this? Well, you can either use the fallout cleaner bottle here, and you spray it on and just let it sit for a few minutes, and then you rinse it off. Or some guys are actually using the clay disc, which is going Velcro to the tail. They use the fallout cleaner, let it sit for a couple of minutes, then they use the clay disc like this and the fallout cleaner as a lubricant, and they can actually do two steps at once. So not only are you removing the embedded material that's in the little valleys of your paint, but you're also using the clay disc to remove any of the topical contaminants that are on the paint as well. And when you talk about topical contaminants, you're talking about insect residue, tree saps, tars, paints, things like that. Those will also get embedded in your polishing pad while you're doing any paint correction. It's important to do this. So that's what's nice about the fallout cleaner. You can use it in tandem with the clay disc, or if you just want to use it as a one-step decontamination, that's what it's used for. So we've got our pump vaporizer. We've got this filled with our fallout cleaner. This is ready to use. Some guys like to dilute it. I tell them no, it works faster if you don't.
What size does it come in, Jason?
It comes in the 5 liter, or sorry, the fallout cleaner comes in this size, which is 500 ml, or 16.9 ounces. But we also have a 5 liter, which is 169 ounces, and that's what we use to fill up this pump vaporizer. So if you're a heavy user, 5 liter, fill up the pump vaporizer, and then spray it on the car. So it's just this easy. You just take the product and you spray it on the car. Don't look to the left, that would be cheating a little bit, but it's just this easy. Just spray it on the car just like this. Alright. There you go. Nice coating, just like that. Cool, dry surface is the best way. Okay? If it's hot, I would let it sit for a few minutes just to let it cool off. Engine cover especially, pop the hood up, let it cool off. But what you'll see is, as soon as it starts to penetrate into, you'll see little tick marks. Now, Leanne's going to go over to the left, and she's going to show you what happens. So the chemistry, the engineering and the chemistry in the product itself is it introduces itself to the iron that's in the rail dust or the brake dust. changes color and it pulls away from the paint. So Leanne's now on the left side. This is the right side. You'll see. I mean, this is about 30 seconds, but you'll see all these little marks. This is ferrous metal on the paint. Look up here, Leanne. That's how much is there. I mean, honestly, we came out and looked at the car. We couldn't really see this before we sprayed it on, but you can see all of the iron and the metals that are attached to the hood of this car.
Yeah, so you could already see it after just a couple of minutes on here. And this side over here, we sprayed maybe 5 minutes before we started.
So as you can see, it's not only attaching itself to the iron particles, but it's actually bringing it away, and it's running away from off the paint. So again, easy. Spray it on, leave it. A couple of minutes is enough. If you go around and you're doing something else and you get caught, like in a couple minutes that will dry. What happens if it dries? Easy. Respray the product again, it'll reactivate, it'll rinse right off. So this is really close to being rinsed off. We won't bore you with the details of that. But that is our fallout cleaner. It's safe for some of the other iron removers out there. They're quite caustic. They can harm some of the black plastics on the side panels, rocker panels, some of the side mirrors. There's black plastic trim around. If you let that sit on there for too long, it might actually cause etching. Ours will not. You might have to let it sit another 30 seconds. Big deal. You don't have to worry about it etching into the plastic. So again, the SONAX Fallout Cleaner for decontamination of the paint. So you're cleaning it, you're chemically cleaning the paint. And it's very easy to use, like we just showed you. So, thanks again. We're going to rinse this car off. Thank you for joining us again. Again, SONAX Fallout Cleaner in the 500 milliliter and the 5 liter for heavy users. And we will see you next week. Have a great time.